Welcome back to your era of success. I am Mia, and I am so happy you're hanging out with me today. I have been in great spirits lately. For a long time, I fought internal battles with consistency, just personal goals, feeling like I was not doing enough. But I am happy to announce that I have found overall balance and happiness in my life. It has taken a lot of years, a lot of research, a lot of reflection to get to where I'm finally at. But I am grateful for every stage because the only way for you to get past your problems is to go through them. There are no shortcuts. The hard moments in your life is where you grow if you are intentional about what you do during that process. I am so guilty about being hard on myself. But I have learned the importance of just releasing that image of perfection. Releasing that has actually been a sense of relief. I am able to enjoy life. It's a lot less pressure, and that has actually made it way easier for me to stay on track with my goals. Before, though, I always felt like I was hitting this invisible glass ceiling. You probably know what I'm talking about. You're talented, you work hard, you have the vision, yet you keep hitting that same invisible wall. Maybe it's a career goal that keeps stalling, or that quiet, nagging voice in the middle of the night telling you that you are not enough. Or maybe it's that same relationship pattern that you keep repeating. If all this sounds familiar, I have great news. You are not broken. You just need to update your internal operating system. We like to think that we are the pilots of our lives, making conscious decisions based on logic. But that is not the whole truth. Science actually tells a different story. Research suggests that about 95% of your cognitive activity actually occurs in your subconscious mind. In other words, you are not being held back because of a lack of hustle. You are being held back by an invisible operating system running silently in the back of your mind. Today, we are exploring how your beliefs become your biology. We are not just talking about positive thinking. We are talking about that neurochemical architecture of your body. Just like software, the beliefs in your mind, they can be updated. You can reprogram your beliefs if you actually want to start living the life that you want. The first topic that I really dove into is the psychology of self-sabotage. Why is it that even the most talented people fail? Dr. Carol Dweck's decades of research at Stanford on mindset shows that talented individuals often fall into that fixed mindset trap. If you believe that your talent is a capped resource, any failure is going to become a threat to your identity. And that is what's going to cause you to stop taking risks. You see, that is a huge problem. And looking back at my life, there have been many moments, like in sports or different jobs, where at the slightest moment of adversity, I was quitting. I was quickly crawling back into my comfort zone where I knew it was safe. I wasn't going to have to try new things. Therefore, I wouldn't have to fail. But there is an even deeper layer. That is the upper limit problem. Dr. Gay Hendricks coined this term to describe our internal thermostat for how much love, success, and creativity we allow ourselves to enjoy. When we exceed that internal setting, our subconscious mind creates a problem. Some fight, a mistake, anything to bring us back down to where we feel safe. The most common silent script is that I'm not enough. I don't deserve this. And the result is that you don't apply for the promotion, or you pick a fight with your partner when things are going too well. Your body can literally trigger a stress response when you succeed. Because once you do succeed, you're at a different level, something that you've never done before. This is outside of your comfort zone. And I am so guilty of this. Like last year, I was on my weight loss journey. I was trying to get rid of the baby weight that I had gained after giving birth. And like most people on a weight loss journey, I had a goal, a specific weight that I wanted to be at. Every time I would get down to that weight, I would self-sabotage and go crazy with my eating, which would obviously cause weight gain. And I would be right back to where I started. Months of hard work would be thrown away in a matter of days, weeks. And this is such a vicious cycle. It is so annoying. So I really had to dig deep at the underlying issues. Your brain has a filter that's called the reticular activating system, RAS. Its job is to filter out those millions of bits of data that you see every second and only show you what you believe is important. What happens when you believe that the world is out to get you? Your RAS is only going to highlight the grumpy people, and you're only going to focus on every single red light that you caught on your way to work. What you believe is what you literally see in your physical environment. And this, to me, happens even in the little moments, in those harmless conversations that I have with friends. Every time that I would say something like, oh, I have the biggest sweet tooth, or I have no self control in social settings. I can only do good when I'm at home. Saying those things out loud, that is what I believed. And so that became my reality. That's why I would lose the weight, but then the moment that I would get invited to a dinner or a party, there would be a dessert table and I would lose control. My belief that I lacked self control was way bigger than my ability to stick to those healthy eating habits. Because since I so deeply believed that I love sweets, I would only see that dessert table at the party. So if your biology is currently wired for limitation, how do you update your mind and your body? There is a famous phrase in neuroscience: neurons that fire together wire together. This is Hebb's law. When you repeat a limiting belief, you strengthen a physical neural pathway in your brain. This becomes like your superhighway of thought. To change, you have to build a new road. You can use the prefrontal cortex, which is the seat of your subconscious will, to override the amygdala, the fear center. This is going to require more than affirmations. It's going to require autosuggestion and emotional anchoring. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, the body does not know the difference between an actual experience and an experience that you imagine with high emotional intensity. When you mentally rehearse a new belief with the feeling of gratitude, you are signaling your genes to change ahead of that actual experience. If you have been following me around for some time, then you know I graduated with a degree in cell and molecular biology. It was a very rigorous and challenging degree, and the only thing that kept me going is just how fascinating everything is. Because what do you mean that you can alter the genes in your body to work in your favor? Your body is capable of achieving so much beyond your wildest beliefs. So how do you walk away today and actually change? Start by spotting your trigger event. What happened? Notice at what moment it is that you feel off or you feel stuck. Then you're going to identify the script. You have to ask yourself, like, what would I have to believe about myself in order for this feeling to be true? Like, maybe you suffer from imposter syndrome when you go after certain goals. Then you have to interrupt the pattern. Once you have those nasty little thoughts in your head, you have to do something to break the loop. Stand up, move around, go take a walk, change your environment. And step number 4 is going to be the bridge statement. You shouldn't jump from I'm a loser to I'm a millionaire, because your brain is not going to believe the lie just yet. So you have to use a bridge so that your brain doesn't reject that lie. Something like, I am in the process of learning how to handle new levels of success. Something that you believe, something positive, something that you're working on. And this is ultimately how you're going to create your new reality. Just remember, your life is a dynamic reflection of your internal environment. You are not broken. You're simply operating on this outdated, expired software, and you need to reprogram it. The most important conversation that you will ever have in your life is the one that is silently going on in your mind. And when you change that conversation, you do not just change your mind, you change your destiny. Stop limiting yourself. If you have made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for sticking with me. I know we had a lot of information today, and I hope it makes you stop in your tracks and realize that you have the power to change. You have the ability to create the life that you want. I hope this helped. Make sure to like, subscribe, and you can find me on socials at Modern X Muse. I will see you in the next video. I love you so much.